Arsenal nil, Sporting nil. Arsenal won on aggregate, Sporting nil on aggregate. We are through to the semi-finals. Let's see what went on.
You wanna know how we do it in Yorkshire? We still get packs and put it in portions. Back then we were smashing up courses. YJB man still get tortured. Course I'm still in the hood, but I might cook food. Check Mike in the orchard. Drink game live, eat that off a boredom. Thirsty, go to the barman, saw him. You know how we do it in Leeds, still chasing goals and dreams and peace. Lynch, but my dog still get off beans. Drunk in a cup like we don't need sleep. I don't cheat and sleep. Seats for the week. Have you done 20 bar in a week? 20 far from the street. I'm knee deep. It's me and Big Mike on the beat.
Good evening, people. Good evening, people. I knew either way, no matter what the result, obviously I was going to come to the screen and give my opinion. I'm happy we've gone through. I'm going to make this quick and sharp. I'm happy we through. I am unhappy with the performance still, and I'm sure a lot of us are. There was still a lot of frustration. I needed my Cavossier. I decided not to, but it would have been good to have a drink before this, but I probably would have been more irate during the game. Positive result. We got through on a 0-0 scrape at home. We showed some positives, but not enough positives throughout the 90 minutes. We showed positives that we can play a pass forward, but we also showed the non-positives that we don't do it enough. And that when given the opportunity to play passes forward, we actually choose to put our defenders under more pressure by passing it back. A number of occasions by Zubimendi and Eze are the main culprits who found it easier to make the decision to pass it back to defenders where there's 3 Sporting Lisbon forwards ready for it, as opposed to passing it forward when Hincapié is running into an open space. 3 times I've watched the player that was hoping to receive the pass like this. Like, why didn't you pass it? Meanwhile, the person either didn't acknowledge or didn't even see the reaction because they didn't see the player. Now, these are players that are meant to have the vision, the best vision on our squad. Zubimendi in passing the ball, in being the difference between getting the ball from defence to attack, and Eze, who is meant to be our creative spark, especially today, and who's meant to basically make things happen. One positive, let me not miss out, in the first 20 minutes of the game, Eze done up a man and went down the byline. Done up a man, but that was his best highlight of the game, unfortunately. Raya, shocker. Like, he's made very simple saves. He's not had to make a good save today because we've come against a team that, although they came back from a 3-0 against Bodo, whatever they're called, they don't have the attacking prowess that we usually struggle against. If we did this performance, i.e. against Southampton and Bournemouth, then the same result would have happened like against Southampton and Bournemouth. But luckily for us, we've come against a Sporting team that seems to struggle against us. They seem to struggle to get the ball in the back of the net against us. The whole 90 minutes was nervous from start to finish. And the whole 90 minutes didn't look like we was going to score from start to finish. Our corners, even when we've got set pieces now, it doesn't even feel like we're going to score anymore. It seems like we've taken this new approach to corners where before we used to flood man on the back line, and then just before Rice comes in for the corner, everyone runs in and kind of crowds the keeper enough. And Rice would put it in a brilliant area that would just make life difficult. Own goal or tap-in header. But Rice is still putting the ball in that same spot. Brilliant, same spot. But now we don't have the same formation from our outfield players in order to capitalise on the great deliveries. Instead, we've got the goalkeeper just coming in and saying, thank you, because there's no pressure upon the goalie. Personally, if we're not going to do what we was doing at the beginning of the season, Rice needs to aim for the penalty spot and stop aiming for the 6-yard box. That's my opinion. Let me know what you lot think below, because right now, as I said, set pieces, there is no. There's nothing. However, this is not what I want to rely on, although this is what we've relied on for the season, so I thought I'd just comment on that. What we need to rely on is the creativity going forward, and I've got no answer. I've got no confidence going into Man City. I feel like Arsenal is going to make me have to wear a Man City t-shirt and put it on my socials for a year. If any of you guys have watched Arsenal fan wearing a Man City t-shirt part 2, that's the bet that I had with J. Regret making that bet now, if I'm going to be honest, but we'll see. Anything can happen. This is football. We could just turn it up. Saka, if there's one thing that Saka being out, we can talk about Saka's numbers all we want. We can talk about how Saka hasn't done enough this season compared to his previous season. But Saka being out is really affecting us. I don't think we've given him the credit for how much it's affecting our creative spark. We can say it's Odegaard, but Odegaard's been in a few games and still our creative spark has been non-existent. He's been getting loads of touches. He's been passing the ball forward. But what happens when it goes forward? It gets passed right back. Sometimes even past him, right back to the defenders. So it's all right saying we need a creative spark, but we also need an outlet. And Saka was our outlet. Not only was he an outlet, but he was a person that took an extra player. 2 players had to mark him. Otherwise, that player's getting done up. 9 times out of 10, that player's getting done up. Saka's going towards the box and he's getting a shot, or he's cutting in for someone to get a shot. He's getting a shot on goal or a key pass. 9 times out of 10. Or he's going down the byline and he's getting a key pass 9 times out of 10. So 2 man had to be on him. And then when that 2 man's on him, there's all of a sudden more space in the midfield. Just these little things that we actually miss from Saka. And, sometimes when you've got good players that just make the job look so easy and go under the radar in some of the things they do, obviously, for the past couple of seasons, he hasn't gone under the radar with the goals and the assists he's done, but under the radar for how he helps our team perform when he's off the ball. Sometimes you kind of take that for granted. Kind of like Kante for Leicester. And then also, well, he wouldn't take him for granted at Chelsea when Chelsea bought him, but he was taken for granted at Leicester. Mahrez, Vardy, they all look good in Leicester's winning season, but Kante wasn't mentioned. And sometimes that's good because it means you can go under the radar. It means teams might not figure out what the hell's going on here when really there's one player that's just doing bits. You know what I mean? But yeah, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Fantastic win. Happy with the win. We've still got a lot of improvements to make. We need to buy this summer. I never thought I'd hope on a Man United player, but I said there's speculation that Fernandes, it might be a conspiracy. It might be something that's just popped on my thing and it could be complete bullshit. But Fernandes might be looking to move somewhere where he's got a chance at silverware. And he might be the one to get us over the line. And also a left winger. Oh, shout out Trossard, man. I thought it was a very good selection by Arteta today to start Martinelli. But when Trossard came on, he really shows his quality. He really shows that as a winger, you don't need speed. You just need football intelligence, and he's got that in abundance. He really did change the game and make the last 15 minutes a lot more comfortable for us Arsenal fans, me in particular. Jesus showed his quality as well. Him and Trossard coming on together was actually a good double substitution because they really did hold the ball up in their half. They really showed the skill and composure that they've got to actually control the game from forward attacking spaces as opposed to controlling it in the midfield or controlling it in the back line like what we've been doing the past 3-4 games, trying to control it in the back line. Not working. Saliba and Gabriel, they've had a good season. They've had a really good season. Really, really good season. But it shows that they're struggling for form. They're struggling for form on the ball. And that may be the options from midfield. That may be due to midfield. Even Rice looks like his engine has ran its course. His engine's on 150 miles right now. He's done 150 miles in one season. And he's not a Volkswagen. You know what I mean? He's a Ford. So that means it's a brookie down. That means it's a brook down. You know what I mean? Timing belt needs changing and that. So, Marino, we definitely need midfielders. We definitely need a few midfielders. Like, my bet is Fernandes and Tonali. Fernandes, Tonali, I'm happy with that. Wishful thinking, but I'm happy with that. Left winger, Vinicius Jr. or Kvaratskhelia. Happy with that. Right winger, give Madueke another season, man. But Saka needs to come back ASAP. Yeah? Yeah. Right back needs calling in. And we need to change our backup goalie. Yeah. Because right now, Raya's relaxed a bit and he's doing a couple of daft things that are just making me think, whoa! He's held his hand up twice today. Sorry. Sometimes he didn't hold his hand up once a 10, 12 games saying sorry. But now, sorry. Luckily for us, as I said, we're playing against a very struggling Sporting Lisbon against us. They struggled. Gyökeres, silent as usual, hoping on a penalty. Because if we got a penalty, then I'd put my house on it for him to bag it away. Yeah. But that's not what's going to happen this time. We just had to trod through, and we trotted through well. Gooners. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm out.
You wanna know how we do it in Yorkshire? We still get packs and put it in portions. Back then we were smashing up courses. YJ Beamers still get tortured. Course I'm still in the hood, but I might cook food. Check Mike in the orchard.
Drink game live, eat that off a boredom. Bursty, go to the barman, saw him. You know how we do it in Leeds, still chasing goals and dreams and peace. Lynch, but my dogs still get off beans. Drunk in a cup like we don't need sleep.
I don't cheat and sleep. Seats for the week. Have you done 20 bar in a week? 20 bar from the street. I'm knee deep. It's me and Big Mike on the beat.